guys, today I'm going to go ahead and do a review on the 2016 Clayton Homes The Wonder. It has officially been a year since we moved in to the trailer, our manufactured home. The good thing about Clayton is the price includes everything. So they add the extra $10,000 on top of whatever house you decide you want, and that includes the skirting, the delivery, the front steps, and the back steps. And you have to really make sure that your path where you're going to set your home is clear, because if there's a tree in the way, they're just going to snag it, come back, and then do a really crappy job fixing it. So, and this may not be every Clayton, but this was the Clayton I worked with. They were pretty bad about the warranty too, and I'll get to that in a minute. So they also have low earnest money holds for the trailer you want, and then if you decide that that's not what you want to go with someone else, you get that money back. So I think you have to wait a week. So if you pay cash, then you have to come back a week later and they give you a check to cancel. And a lot of the Claytons also include property. So if you decide that you want a piece of property or whatever, you just tell Clayton, hey, I'd like to see about property for putting the Clayton on. The one that's closest to us does, but the one that where we went, they did not. So every single Clayton is different. That includes with the warranty and everything. So also, do not use their contractors. The contractor that they had come out with our trailer did not know how to read bounds and property lines and everything. Ended up putting our trailer 13 feet off of our property. So they said that they were just going to move it up, and that was going to be done with it. But if we move the trailer up, since the property is kind of angled, it wouldn't be on our property still. I mean, it would literally have to be at our road, like at our road to be on our property. And even then it would be, you know, right at the street, and that's not what we wanted. So, and guess whose pocket that came out of having to move it? They ended up having to move it sideways. So that created a whole nother issue for us of like damage inside the house that had to get fixed. Oh, another thing too with the property, we went and we found our own property instead of having Clayton look for property for us, because the first Clayton we went to, like, they were having the hardest time trying to find property. So I kept my eye out, and when I actually found a piece of property, we snagged it up and put earnest money down on it until we sold our house and did a contingency. So they did try to overcharge us for a lot of things, and that's why I got my own contractor. Actually, sorry, I did not get my own contractor. After this contractor did that and put our house on the wrong, like, over our property line, I pretty much did everything else myself. I got my well put in, I got my own septic put in. I just did not want to have to deal with a contractor coming out here and not knowing what he was doing, especially since his mess ups were coming out of my pocket. We did not get the extended warranty on the electrical, and that was a choice. You could do it if you want, but by the way they were acting, did not seem like they were going to really carry out any warranty anyways, and I was right. You're supposed to have a warranty on everything within the first year of you moving. Like even with trim and electrical, water heater, like everything. And he was like, the guy kept telling me, he's like, call somebody out to come fix it. Get a receipt. Send me the receipt. I'll reimburse you. And that's not what a warranty is. I'm sorry, but you've got workers that come out and do this for a living. You need to get them out. There are gaps in the walls. I'm gonna actually show you, because this really annoyed me when I came in and I asked them about fixing it, and they were like, oh, it's supposed to be like that, and that is definitely, sorry, okay. So this is one of the closets in the bedroom, and I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's a gap literally right there. So, and then like the ceiling, that's pretty ugly, but it's in my closet, so that wasn't like a major issue for me. And so these trim pieces right here that are on like everything, pretty much all the wooden ones, because we haven't had any of the ones that are like gapping the walls. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so like these are the ones we have trouble with, but these up here we don't. These actually stay in. Yeah, so that's been a big issue, a big issue. So what I'm gonna do is I actually bought liquid nail, and I'm gonna go ahead and liquid nail them all on, because I am tired of fighting with them. I would just go ahead and plaster, but if I plaster or spackle and sand it down, they don't make this wallpaper anymore for this trailer. So that's an issue. So the only option I have right now is to just glue them on. The nails they use are super small and they go straight through the wood. So the water heater, when we first moved in, the water heater coil went out one time, and they came out and fixed it just fine, and about a month later it went out again, and they blamed it on our water, you know, yada yada yada, and said get your own person to come deal with it. So I hired somebody to come and fix it. I just put an ad in my local area or whatever, and a really nice old man came out and fixed it for me. So when he took the coil out, guys, Clayton's people, the people that fixed it the first time, was Clayton's warranty people. The coil was the wrong coil. It was completely burned all the way through. So this guy, thank God, put the right coil in. He even showed me like the numbers on there and everything, like, you know, just to show me that it was exactly the right one, because he actually made sure that I was satisfied that I would call him again if something happened, basically guaranteeing his work. So the GFI also in the master bathroom went out. That happened twice. Okay, the first time they came and fixed it, and then the second time I had an electrician come out and fix it, but it still went out again. And my mom's using a hairdryer. I have a feeling that my mom's hairdryer did that, but also when you plug something in to the plugs and then you go to pull it out, you literally have to put your hand on that plate to keep it in the wall. That's how badly built these things are. So my son went to pull one out one time and actually pulled the whole electrical outlet out of the wall, just trying to get, you know, the cord out. So we had that fixed twice and it went out again. So we're waiting for the electrician. there is a pipe behind the toilet. I know some of y'all probably like, oh, I don't care, you know, it's behind the toilet. It's still in view to me, but it literally looks like they just shoved the pipe up through the floor, and the flooring is like coming up over, like it's split and it's coming up over the pipe. Like somebody punches a hole in the wall and like everything that's just hanging out, that's what it looks like. Very poor, very poor. One thing we didn't also really look at, which we should have, was closets. This house only has bedroom closets. There are no hall closets. There are no linen closets. I mean, the kitchen has plenty of room, but once you start putting stuff in there, there's pretty much no room for really food or anything. So there's a back area where you have the washer and dryer, and it's like a cutout, and we're like, okay, well, we're gonna put a refrigerator there. So we put our refrigerator there, and come find out, when we had to get the water heater fixed, we had to pull that whole refrigerator out because that water heater was behind the wall where the refrigerator was. I'll show you all that in a second. And another thing is everything in here is made with PVC. And there's flex line in the bathroom sinks. And when you first get the place, and say like you get your water just turned on, and you try to turn the water on in the bathrooms, there's no pressure. I mean, like, it trickles. It almost does nothing. So it took me a while to figure this out, but they do it for pressure reasons. You have to take the little washer off on there and take the thing out where it's just the filter and the ring, and then put it back on. So that was an issue. I think that took us like a month before we realized that, you know, even Clayton came out and I told him I had a problem with it, but they had absolutely no idea why the sinks were doing that. And then I just happened to find out one day, you know, playing with it, trying to figure out how I could get more water. Okay, let me go ahead and get up and show y'all what I'm talking about with the refrigerator and the extra room. This is what I am talking about. So you have your washer and dryer area. Then you got your main water line. This brings water to the whole house. And see what I mean? It's PVC. That's scary. I don't know sure how long that's gonna last. Okay, and so here's the refrigerator. And where the water heater, or the water heater is right back here. So we have to move this huge refrigerator every single time we have to use the water heater. And also, there is no pantry. I mean, this whole area, you could probably make a pantry as long as you leave room for the water heater for you to be able to get in and out. So what we did was literally just put a shelf up here and just put stuff on the shelf. And then we got another shelf over here too with all my tools and everything right by the back door. And then there's the panel. It's got all the electrical in there. Okay. So, and then here's the kitchen. So this is the refrigerator that comes with Clayton, the home. And it's super small. That's why we brought our other refrigerator. And you can't really take this refrigerator out and put the bigger one in, because you have like, I mean, you probably have room width-wise, because we still have like a gap on this side and then a small gap on this side, but they have this thing at the top that's built in, so it's like a shelf. Let's see. So yeah, here's another one of the trim pieces that's gone. Sorry if it's kind of hard to see. And then the nails that are sticking out. It's gonna be hard to see. I'll have to show y'all by the bathroom because my daughter seems to think it's funny pulling on those. Sorry for the low mileage sound here. Okay, so here is the trim piece that's coming off the bathroom, and you can see that itty bitty hole right there. Make it blurry. Let's see. Okay, so this little bitty hole right there and there. Those little bitty nails right there go straight through. So we don't like that. Is the bathroom where, see what I mean? Like, it looks like they just punched it through, didn't care about the flooring. Okay, well, here's the problem. Here's the bathtub. Here's the toilet. And there's the actual wood floor. So if that gets wet, guess what? Either the tub's going through or the toilet in the bathroom is also pretty small. You can literally fit towels there. I mean, like, you can fit them on every shelf. But I'm thinking about getting like a door to put right here if I can, if I have any kind of like beam to put it on. We also found out that there was a leak in this room, and how you can tell is by the separation right here. And there's a little bit of discoloration, but more than anything, you can see where it puddled at in the light. And we have this in the living room too, and supposedly they fixed it. So I haven't seen anything or haven't had any more issues since we had somebody come out and fix one nail on the roof. This is another cool thing about the place where I went to, the Claytons, is the older models, they put this background on in the kitchen to make it more visually pretty. That way people will be more inclined to want to buy it. They also add lights and a chandelier, and they added a fan in here and then a fan in here. So there's already a fan in the master. I think the fan in the master is comes with every one of them. So the other 3 bedrooms that we have do not have a fan in them. They just have like a regular ball light. All right, guys and girls, so that is my review. If you have any more questions, just leave a comment in the comment box down below, and I'll answer your questions.